Long ago, there was a species that lived among humans. Colorful beings with either horns, wings, or webbed appendages. Made by a goddess by the name of Lady Light. She had a brother who wanted to claim the species as his own, but the more he tampered with this species, the more disturbing they got. Angered by her own brother who claimed her work as his own, she punished him severely. Her brother hid in the darkness while she grew the species more and more, and adapted them to be more friendly to humans. She named the species demons. However, after several more years, her brother emerged and became the Dark King. He made his own species called Rivalings, and they fought against the demons. In the recent years, the Dark King struck Lady Light's strongest domain, the Light Domain. So much that he wiped nearly the entire race, leaving 7 white demons alive. Distraught, Lady Light hid in disguise with her first creation, Noilopa. She reached out to the 9 domains below the Light Domain, coming up with a plan to destroy her brother, once and for all. Celadon, I need you for a moment. Come on, Dad. An 18-year-old green demon by the name of Celadon. He's the new heir of the Green Domain, a domain that became a massive bunker due to a war that occurred 85 years ago. Celadon, good morning, sweetie, his mom said as he walked downstairs. She was making pancakes paired with bacon and scrambled eggs. Celadon smiles. Good morning, Mom. Where's Dad? She flips the pancake. Well, Calhoun is waiting for you outside. Him and Grandpa are waiting for you out there. Must be important, huh? Before I go, can I have a pancake? Sure thing, dear. She places a finished pancake on the plate. Celadon politely grabs the plate and heads outside. There was his father Calhoun and his grandfather, and behind them were 2 white hooded figures. Celadon, you're up and at 'em, huh? Calhoun smiled. You came at a great time. What's going on, Dad? Celadon asked. One of the hooded figures begins to speak. Celadon, sir, are you aware of who King Jade is? Yes, ma'am, he's my great-grandfather. Well, word came around that his body escaped recently from the cryo chambers, she said. Celadon looks concerned, but a dead body can't move, unless someone moved him. That's what we're trying to figure out, said the other hooded figure. Calhoun looks perplexed. Don't we have camera footage of the cryo chamber last night? I believe so. Give me a second. Celadon brings out a laptop that shows all the cameras of the bunker. He then types in a line of code to access the nightly footage of the cryo chambers. The 2 hooded figures look at the screen of his laptop. In the footage around the 10-minute mark is a black shadowy mass that scurries across the floor. Wait, there was something. One of the hooded figures points out. Celadon rewinded the footage a couple seconds back and pauses right as the black smudge appears. That's him! The Dark King stole his body! What I find bizarre is that it happened around 3:33 a.m. Celadon's grandpa points out. That's the witching hour. One of the hooded figures looks at him with intrigue. Indeed, sir. Celadon, I meant to ask this beforehand. Are you familiar with Lady Light? Of course, everyone is, Celadon says. Why do you ask? One of the hooded figures unveils her hood. She's a human with white, long hair that shines iridescently when light makes contact with it. Her eyes are rainbow-colored, and she looks very beautiful. Calhoun and Celadon look extremely shocked. The hooded figure was none other than Lady Light herself. Wait, what are you doing down here, then? Calhoun then asked. This is the last kingdom I needed to stop by, to warn the heirs about my brother. I was hoping to find some evidence to see if he's tainted anything in this kingdom, but it looks like he got what he was looking for. A host to sustain his power more. Celadon then remembers something. King Jade's backstory. Some years ago, before his grandfather was born, King Jade made a deal with the Dark King, and that's what caused his wife, the heir of the light green domain at the time, to leave and make her own domain from the ground up. King Jade slaughtered his soldiers for more wealth, and eventually ended up with another wife named Kusaru. Eventually, the war between the light green domain and the green domain was so bad that Lady Light stepped in to stop King Jade. He eventually did, but 3 years later, he ended up dying to a hidden stake to the heart, placed there by the Dark King himself. Kusaru and his 3-year-old son were the only ones left in the royal family at the time. Calhoun looks concerned. Well, what's your plan, Your Highness? Well, all the current heirs need to venture together to destroy him together. They will grow stronger over time, but I know something hard that's coming to you. You're not going to see your son for nearly a year, and I'm sorry to say that, she says. Celadon looks at both the hooded figures with intrigue. You're telling me I'll be able to venture out to the other domains on my own? Now, hold on. You're telling me you're taking my son, who hasn't seen the outside world at all, on a mission to save the world from the Dark King, Calhoun says while trying to comprehend what Lady Light is saying. Celadon looks excited. Dad, you have no idea how big this is. Calhoun looks nervous, but then he regains his composure. You know what? Maybe she does have a point. Go get your bag packed, son. Celadon goes back to his room excited and grabs his bag. He packs up some food rations, some clothes, and some tools like an empty journal and a pen. As he was about to head out, his mom looks up at him and says, Son, where are you going? Heading out for a year. I have an important mission for Lady Light. She starts tearing up happily, and then runs up to him for one big hug. You take care of my son. I hope you'll meet a lot of friends too. A few minutes later, Celadon was walking up to the bunker door with Calhoun, Lady Light, and the other hooded figure that hasn't revealed herself. Walking past halls and halls of living spaces, stores, indoor farms, restaurants, and so forth. So, what is my other goal? Celadon asked. Well, I need you to also look out for the 7 light demons that are still alive. I want you to ask each of the heirs about their whereabouts, Lady Light says. The other hooded figure looks at Celadon with intrigue. Celadon was able to see her eyes under her hood. She has a total of 10 eyes, all colored after each of the domains, excluding the light domain. Her skin is the color of terracotta, and Celadon then asks, Aren't you Noilopa? From what he remembers, Noilopa is a demigoddess. She was the first demon that Lady Light created. Originally, she was a husk of a human that had been controlled by the Dark King, and she was then claimed by Lady Light, and her soul was then purified completely. The hooded figure looks at him curiously. Well, you could say that, she says with a smirk. Calhoun then waves at his brother and sisters, whom live almost close to the entrance. Celadon then sees his cousin Teresa. Celadon, where do you intend on going to? She asked. Teresa was an odd sort. Her arms and legs are enlarged and covered in a skin that resembles tree bark, but she's relatively kind. I'm going outside for a year, he says. She looks puzzled. A whole year? Yep, I have a mission that requires my utmost importance. Okay, just be careful of the mines up there. Calhoun groans. Alright, the light green domains keep placing mines up there on the green domain's turf, so we need this. He then pulls out a long metal rod that can be extended or retracted. Lady Light then responds, those set off the mines, I'm guessing? Yeah, We've been using these for demons who are reckless enough to go through the minefields. Which I know that you all aren't heading that way, right? Noila then presses both her fingers together. About that. Both of us walked through and set off the mines with our powers. Or at least the way we came in the bunker. Calhoun then said, well, just be careful with my son, okay? He's not immune to bombs like you two are. Lady Light gave a warm smile. We'll be careful of him. After all, he's our top priority for the entire mission. They continued walking until they reached the first floor of the bunker. A massive metal door stood in front of the entrance, as well as screens stating the backstory of the Green Domain. Two of the guards at the bunker door watched as the hooded figures, Calhoun and Celadon, approached the door. Open the door, Calhoun commanded. The guards then turned the wheel of the door and opened the massive bunker door. A shower of light shone upon Celadon and the crew. Calhoun smiles at Celadon. Go ahead, my son. I'll see you in a year. Celadon and the hooded figures then went through the door. He was in awe of what the upper Green Domain was. A castle that had crumbled in disarray, as well as the surrounding village, only for it to be covered by today's fauna. The sun shined through the leaves of the trees. Celadon then made sure to pull out that retractable metal rod that can set off those mines where they need to go. There wasn't any bombs, no mines, nothing. Only the calming sound of the wind rustling through the trees as they walked.